The movie begins with Harper Stevens, a jaded book editor from New York City. Harper is arguably the most valued editor at Stillman Publishing, but feeling burnt out and unfocused for various reasons, she has been granted a 1-month leave of absence to see if she can rediscover the spark that's been missing from her work. Amid all of this, something unexpected happens. Harper learns at the last minute that she has been selected for a position she applied for years ago, a temporary clerk at the Book Cabinet bookstore in St. Ives. This job is a dream come true for many book lovers like herself, especially since she and her childhood best friend Kimberly had once seriously contemplated opening their own bookstore, complete with an apartment above it. Taking her friend's advice, Harper decides to accept the job, hoping that this new opportunity will help her rediscover the spark she has lost. Upon arriving in St. Ives, she meets Sawyer, the son of the bookstore's owner. He is friendly and warmly welcomes her to the store, even offering her a bottle of wine, which she politely declines. With a smile, Sawyer guides her to the apartment where she will be staying, telling her to settle in for the night. While work kicks off fully the next day, Sawyer Lambert has unexpectedly moved back to St. Ives to revitalize the struggling family business. Although he has a deep love for books, he has decided to shift his focus away from them and transform the store into a high-end wine bar. The next day, Harper visits a bakery to buy some gingerbread muffins, where she meets Josie, a close friend of Sawyer's. Josie and Sawyer go way back. Her brother, Kirk, used to be best friends with him. The two have a brief conversation before Josie packages Harper's order. She then invites Harper to a cider and cocoa crawl later that evening, an event she organized to help make friends and gather people together. Josie mentions that she's been trying to convince Sawyer to join as well. With a smile, Harper agrees to attend and walks away. At the bookstore, Sawyer hands Harper a list of instructions to help her manage the store. The two spend the whole day working side by side. Harper is handling the job really well, being of assistance to customers. Later that evening, she attends the cider and cocoa crawl, where she is joined by Josie and Sawyer. The two of them stand together to chat over drinks, discussing various topics. Josie is happy to have Harper around, as it gives her another girl to bond with. Meanwhile, Harper, who is not used to spending Christmas away from her parents, is enjoying her time in St. Ives so far. The next day, Harper observes that her boss, Sawyer, isn't as lively as he usually is. He appears unfocused and disheveled. When he accidentally bumps into a pile of books, he quickly excuses himself to get some fresh air. Harper inquires if everything is all right, but Sawyer struggles to respond, stuttering through every word. The next time Sawyer and Harper meet at the bookstore, Sawyer apologizes for just leaving awkwardly the other time. He claims to have had an unexpected phone call, and at that moment, he needed to clear his head. Harper inquires further about the matter, and though Sawyer tries to avoid the question, he finally opens up to her. There's someone who has been trying to buy the store, and now the person has made his parents an offer that they can't refuse. Sawyer feels relieved unloading everything that has been bothering him. Harper is an attentive listener, and he can tell. Later, Harper video chats with her parents. It's strange being so far away from them during the holidays. They greet each other warmly and chat about random things in a light-hearted manner. The next day, Harper accompanies Sawyer to the market. While they are there, they chat fondly. Harper shares with Sawyer that she is an only child, but her best friend, Kimberly, lives nearby, so it feels almost like she has a sister. When Sawyer asks her about her favorite Christmas gift, she tells him about an ex-boyfriend who gave her a rare edition of the book Pride and Prejudice. Sawyer thinks that was a very thoughtful gift and praises it. He then inquires about what happened between her and her ex, which is why they are no longer together. Harper explains that he is a tech genius who moved to Silicon Valley. She believes he is doing much better now. Harper turns the question back to her boss, asking him about his favorite Christmas gift. He shares a memorable moment from when he was 7 years old when Santa brought him a puppy. They were inseparable, and the dog would sleep by his side. Harper giggles at his story. Afterward, Harper calls her best friend to update her on how things are going in St. Ives. She tells her that she is enjoying her time at the bookstore and loves the town, describing it as beautiful. However, she expresses some uncertainty about the wine bar, although she believes it will grow on her. Harper is having an amazing time at St. Ives. She and Sawyer, along with their friends, are competing in a reindeer game, which Harper excels at. The wager between them was that if Harper won, Sawyer would have to allow her to host a writer's night at the bookstore. Harper has now won the bet, and Sawyer agrees to hold the writer's night at the store. Harper is excited about the upcoming writer's event. The next morning, she wakes up early to print flyers promoting it. As the event day arrives, Harper greets the guests, expressing her gratitude for their presence. She shares that although she is not a writer herself, she recently met with a writer named Beth, and she hopes that they can inspire each other and support one another's growth. As Harper is speaking, she receives an unexpected guest, Sawyer. Harper is delighted to see him, and they exchange smiles, unable to look away from each other. After the event, they begin to tidy up the space together. Harper encourages her boss, who is a novelist, to return to writing, as he has been away from the profession for some time. They chat quietly while they clean. The two are now becoming very fond of each other. The next day, Sawyer decides to take Harper's advice and give writing a try. However, he quickly encounters writer's block and shares his struggles with Harper. Later that evening, they have dinner together at her place. While there, Sawyer notices a bingo card and asks her about it. Harper explains that she and her best friend used to make Christmas bingo cards for each other when they were little. As they continue their discussion, Harper brings up the topic of her book and asks Sawyer if he has made any progress with it. Sawyer expresses his frustration with writing, and Harper offers to help him. It is then that she reveals she is a professional book editor who took a break from her career to work at his store. Sawyer is shocked by this revelation and asks why she didn't mention it from the beginning. He is upset about the surprise announcement and, feeling disappointed, grabs his jacket and leaves. In the morning, Harper goes to visit Sawyer to apologize. He accepts her apology and admits he shouldn't have left the way he did. Harper tells him that she understands if he doesn't want to work with her, but it has been a while since she worked on any book, and in a way, collaborating with him would be a favor to her. Later that night, the two of them go out with their friends. They share drinks while singing carols together, enjoying a fun time with each other. After reading Sawyer's manuscript, Harper praises him, stating that it is a remarkable piece of work. However, she has left some notes for him to review in order to improve it even further. Sawyer and Harper continue to spend time together, enjoying dinner and drinks while engaging in light conversation. One morning, Sawyer presents Harper with an improved version of his manuscript. Harper provides valuable insights and guidance on how to proceed with the book. Sawyer listens attentively, taking note of everything she suggests. Life continues on as usual, until one day when Sawyer receives a call from the buyer who has been interested in purchasing the store for some time now. The buyer gives him a few days to decide whether he wants to sell it or not. When Sawyer shares this news with his friends, he also talks about Harper, who has supported him through all the chaos. His friends begin to suspect that there may be some tension between the two. Eventually, Sawyer admits that he has developed feelings for Harper, stating that she has helped him with his writing. He believes that she might also be the inspiration he has been searching for. Harper finishes reading Sawyer's book and can't praise it enough. She is full of positive remarks and believes that Sawyer should send it to her boss immediately. However, Sawyer struggles with low self-esteem and finds it hard to consider such a big step. Harper reassures him by saying that she has already put in a good word about him to her boss. Sawyer is shocked that Harper would go out on a limb for him. After some encouragement, she convinces him to email her the manuscript so she can forward it to her boss. Christmas comes early for Sawyer. The next day, he and Harper exchange Christmas gifts. Sawyer gives Harper a necklace, telling her it's a memento to remember the town by. When it's his turn to open his present, Sawyer is amazed to find his manuscript inside. His manuscript is about to be published. Harper's boss loved it and wanted to publish it immediately. Sawyer expresses his gratitude to Harper for believing in him from the very beginning. If she hadn't been there to push and encourage him, he wouldn't be on the verge of having his book published. A book he wrote impulsively, without any intention of sharing it with the world, is now set to be unveiled. Sawyer feels incredibly grateful for her support. In that heartfelt moment, Sawyer leans in for a kiss, and the two share a passionate embrace. However, Sawyer has one more surprise for the young woman. He has invited her parents over. Harper is shocked to see her mom and dad. At that moment, she reveals some devastating news. Her best friend, Kimberly, has passed away due to a terrible illness. Harper hadn't been in the right place to share this news before, but now she has found the courage to speak up. Everyone stands there motionless, shocked by the news. Later, as her parents settle in, Sawyer approaches Harper to console her. He is genuinely sorry for her loss. Harper apologizes for not telling him about it sooner, but he reassures her that he isn't upset. He simply wants to understand how this situation is affecting her. He knows how close she and Kim were. The next day, Harper's parents notice that she seems brighter than she has in a while. They suggest that maybe the trip did her some good, and she agrees. Sawyer arrives, and he and Harper start talking. It's Harper's last day at the store, and Sawyer expresses his gratitude for her presence, noting that book sales have spiked since she started working there. The two say their goodbyes, and Harper leaves. 3 months pass, and on a special night, the two cross paths again. After they parted ways, Sawyer embarked on a fresh start, both in his life and his writing career. However, he soon realized that despite finally living his dream as a writer, something very important was still missing in his life. Harper, flattered by his words, listens quietly. Sawyer expresses his desire to live wherever she is. Harper says she had hoped that this day would come. Sawyer recalls that Harper's last Christmas wish was to kiss under the mistletoe with her partner. He says he has returned to fulfill that wish. The two share a kiss under the mistletoe that Sawyer had carried in his pocket, bringing the film to a wholesome end.